Okay. So, now I mean this I am going to conclude the route to turbulence, how turbulence arise. So, what we did so far, we first showed, I took one example, I mean there are is example specific. So, how turbulence arises in a pipe, in Rayleigh-Bénard, Rayleigh-Taylor, in stars, they are all different, but there is a certain pattern. So, we will get instability, then we will get some kind of nonlinear saturation, stability will make the mode grow, but nonlinearity will come over and saturate it. Then, so saturation was Lorentz equation, then patterns and chaos come. Okay. So, today's class I will show you how patterns come in Rayleigh-Bénard, and then turbulence come. So, so we will get a picture, you know, how turbulence come. Of course, after that we will start doing physics of turbulence, Kolmogorov theory and so on. So, but today's class is just covering these three topics for Rayleigh-Bénard convection, and of course, a huge topic. So, I am going to take simple examples of Rayleigh-Bénard and show you this. Okay. So, the book which I am covering, this is covered in this book, one of the chapters. Okay. So, chapter, I think chapter 7, chapter 8. So, saturation, instability, saturation and patterns you can read from here. Okay. So, I told you about this instability and saturation. Okay. Saturation is a critical point, and this is common in many systems. So, nonlinearity will saturate, otherwise it is unphysical, no, things can't simply keep growing. Now, we will show you something called secondary bifurcation. Now, what is bifurcation? So, bifurcation is change of behavior, or in standard, like a road bifurcates into another road. So, you are going along a road nicely, driving or riding a bicycle, suddenly you find the road ends and you get a new road. So, a new pattern, new behavior. So, this is called bifurcation. Now, we already have two behavior which we studied, instability then saturation, but we can have more complex behavior. So, this, so remember I showed in Lorentz equation my one of the modes. So, all three modes, but one U11 mode. So, it was 0 before r equal to 1, small r equal to 1, then it becomes like square root r minus 1. So, it is a constant value mode, but it does not remain constant throughout. If I increase my Rayleigh, my parameter is temperature difference between the plate, then we find that things start becoming time dependent. Okay. So, we will see. So, this will, so this was one road, you got another road, but another road will start somewhere. Okay. But we need a more sophisticated model. Lorentz equation does not give you realistic bifurcation. There is a bifurcation of Lorentz equation. In fact, at around r equal to 24.7, I think, there is a bifurcation called Hopf. So, it becomes chaotic beyond this. Okay. But we will have better model, and that has more realistic bifurcation for Prandtl number large. Okay. And that model we call, I call it 7 mode model. So, what are the modes I should pick? So, please pay attention to this modes. So, if you recall, we had 101 and 002, these two I had. So, these are wave numbers. Huh? So, for with 101 how many modes? I had 2 modes. So, U11 and theta 11, well 101 and theta 101. So, ky was 0, it was 2D mode. So, it has kx and kz and theta 002. So, theta 002 was brought in for nonlinear saturation. Instability had only these two, U101, theta 101, but I brought 002, this theta 002, in fact it is only theta 002 for Lorentz, but I introduced now 2 more modes, 2 more wave numbers, 011 and 112. Okay. So, what is 011 mode? So, 101 mode is kx and kz. So, it has variations in xz plane. What is 011? Is ky is 1, and kz is 1, ky and kz. So ky is 1 and kz is 1. So what does it give you? It's a yz dependent. So imagine the roll is going in xz plane, so this is y axis, but now other roll will go in that direction. So we have 3D structure where one roll is going like this, other roll is going like that, and they will interact via nonlinear interaction requires third mode. I mean, how can these two interact? So it will interact via 1 1 2. So if I put a minus sign here, minus 1 minus 1 minus 2, they add up to 0. So these guys form a triad. Okay. So this nonlinear coupling between K1, K2, K3 will give you rich pattern. So I will only state the results. So you will find this derivation in this book, but well, I am not really urging you to look at it, but if you look at the derivation, you will also see how to compute this evolution. So I have this, how many modes I got? Modes. Now these are wave numbers, there are 4 wave numbers, but each of them, well, at least these 3 of them have velocity field and temperature, but that each wave number corresponds to has 2 velocity modes from Kriya Haring, right, but I keep only one of them. So keep only u2 in Kriya Haring. Okay, so there is u1 and u2. So I keep only u2 for these 3. So u of u2 of Kriya Haring in this, and temperature for each of them. So theta, theta, theta. So already 6 modes. What about this one? Does it have velocity in this? There is no velocity. Incompressible condition tells you that there is no velocity for this. We keep only theta. So there are 7 modes, and 7 modes will have 7 differential equations associated with them. So these are the 7 equations. Okay. Now these are used with box which is root 2 box. So this is root 2 along horizontal, vertical is 1, and it is a 3D box. So root 2 and 1. Okay. So root 2 is because if you remember, instability condition gives you pi by root 2 is a Kc. So just set down, well, is the lowest wave number. Okay, lowest wave number associated with lowest Rayleigh number. Okay, anyway, this is a choice we made when we made this model. Okay, so for seeing the behavior of this model, we take Fresnel number 1 and vary r, small r. Small r is Rayleigh by Rayleigh critical. So this small r is appearing here. You see small r many places. Fresnel number is also there, but PR I set it to 1. Okay. Now what are behavior we see? So before r equal to 1, what happens? Small r equal to 1. What is the solution of these equations? Stable solutions, all zeros. So there is no convection, only conduction. So small r less than 1 is 0 conduction. But as soon as r becomes greater than 1, we get these solutions. So one mode is 0 0 0, which is unstable. This becomes unstable. But these modes are stable. Okay. Now this I derived in the last class. So B is a parameter, square root r minus 1. If you remember, square root r minus 1. So there are 2 choices. So there is a, basically you can change see the sign change. So this is a offset by minus 1. Okay. So these are, if you look at the butterfly Lorentz equation, you know those pictures in screens, you see this butterfly like this, like this. So these are the two solutions. Right now fixed point solution, so no butterfly, it will all come and either hit this point or that point. Okay. There are no 4 solutions, there are only 2 solutions. So these are eye of the butterfly. Okay, butterfly we will see a bit later. So this is still small r equal to, in model, around 13. So till r equal to 13, we get these solution is stable solution. Okay. This has been being done by one student, Vikas. I solved it not fully, but then Vikas, this is there in the book, but then Vikas did a full bifurcation diagram. So what he finds that for it will 0, then it goes like that. At around 13, the behavior of the system changes, and these modes starts oscillating. Okay. So, these oscillations means they are time dependent now. Oscillations mean time dependent. Presently they are time independent. These modes are time independent till r equal to 13. Now it becomes time dependent, and this is the time series, a function of time. Okay. So, if we plot time. So, look at carefully. So, I am plotting only the velocity mode. So, velocity mode is u101 is oscillating around 0.5, around half in my units. These are all non-dimensionalized. So, this is around half, right. You can see these oscillations. What about 0, 1, 1 and 1, 1, 2? They oscillate around 0. So, this blue, red, dark blue is 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, and green is 0, 1, 1, 1. So, they oscillate around 0. So, they were 0 before that, but now they are getting, they are born and killed, So, it is here becomes 0, then negative. So, it is going like that. Now, 101 is, I have plotted one temperature mode. It is like u101 except the factor r. Okay. So, it comes, it is, see, this is finite, oscillate around a finite value, theta 101 also will oscillate around a finite value. Okay. So, all these modes are starting to oscillate, even 002 oscillates. So, time dependence has come, and technically this I am not going to do in this class, but this is called Hopf bifurcation, and the first one, which was from 0 to non-zero square root r minus 1, is called pitchfork, supercritical pitchfork. I mean, these are the names given to this bifurcation. Pitchfork, you know, road has got into pitchfork, like pitchfork. In the Hopf is a scientist name, a mathematician. So, there is no English interpretation of Hopf is for a mathematician. So, Hopf said that higher dimension modes start, well, it is basically more than 2D. So, it has more degrees of freedom, and well, it can show these oscillations. Okay, if I increase it, so this is beyond 14 or so. If I increase it further, then this system becomes chaotic. Now, it has more rich feature which we will not explore. This model done by us, I mean, so this is our model. Okay, so before I go to chaos, I want to show you something interesting. Now, these are physical interpretation of this oscillation. Now, you need to understand. So, it takes some time. So, the plate, the hot plate is below the screen and cold plate is above the screen. This is a mid plane cut. Okay, please remember, this is not. So, convection is 3D. So, I need to take a cut, so just to make it visible. Now, red is hot and blue is cold. So, what does it mean here? So, hot here, just put my look at my thing, is coming up. Hot is rising in the mid plane, and cold is going down. So, had it been a single roll, hot would have gone up, hot, and cold would have gone down, right? Hot, cold. So, imagine, so hot is going up and coming down. So, that will be 2D roll. Is it correct? So, it strips of hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, strips in 2D. Okay. So, this is a section. If I look at from the side view, I will see rolls. If I see from the top view, we will see hot, cold strips. But now I do not see quite a hot strip, but I see variations. Now, you see there is kind of one hot strip, but it is changing. So, what can you make out of this? So, there is another roll in this direction. Now, you have to follow my pen. So, this is what. So, can you see the red lines which I am trying to draw? So, let us try to see in green. So, these green lines. So, there are roll in that direction and there are roll in that direction. These are cross 2D, 3D roll. Now, it is strong here, but it decreases because the roll here, there is a hot coming from roll of this side as well as from that side. So, this guy becomes super hot, super, like nowadays super everything. So, this is hot, but here it has become weak because here it was going down from this roll, but this roll is whole thing is going up and going down from here to there. So, these have become thinner. So, this kind of fat thin is because of 3-dimensional structure of the system, and this is called asymmetric square. Why is it called asymmetric? Because one role is strong, other role is weak. You will always find that this xz role is dominant. It will never lose its xz character. Other role is coming and going. Now, you saw in the time series in the previous slide here. So, this is the role which is going around, oscillating around 0.5. So, these are dominant 101, but 011 comes and goes. So, when it is here, then we got only 101. I mean 011 is 0. Of course, theta 112 is this mode is u112 is present. Okay. So, u112 also has something to do, but let us ignore it. I mean, you can't understand everything. Is that clear to everyone? They are interacting. No, they are not. These two roles, how can, this is one direction, the other direction. These two different, they can't never make it disappear, or they can't become one. Okay. So, I will show you in the movie, it will become a bit clear. So, this is at one time, but this changes with time, it is dynamic. Okay. So, please see the movie and see what happens. Right now, in fact, the movie at the time t equal to 0, it is basically a 2D role. The other guy is there, but it is weak, and some 112 effect is also there in this. 112 is not, I mean 112 is strong, but let us see what happens as function of time. So, now this other role is had become strong in between. Now, it has become weak again, strong again, the yz role weak. So, yz strong, here is yz strong, that is why it is like square in the middle, but the yz role is never becomes as strong as xz role. So, it can never kill it. Okay. So, it is called asymmetric time dependent square. It is a time dependent structure. So, time dependent asymmetric square, I should say. Okay. So, this is what we see now. So, is that clear? So, this is the interpretation of that structure, and we see from our simple model, 7-mode model, and this also is seen in real experiments. Of course, real experiments has more complexity, but these 7 modes capture this feature. That is why these models are not just for the sake of constructing it, it has physical meaning. And one mode, so the nonlinear interaction terms, I have been following it 101, 011, 112, understand how the structures look like, how to compute the nonlinearity, all they are important, useful. Okay. Now, if I go further, so this I do not remember, R is I think 70 or something. Okay. If I go further, then this is a 3D picture. So, this is called phase space. The earlier picture was real space picture. Now present picture is a phase space. This is called phase space. Okay. This is not real space. So, I draw this axis 101, theta 101 and minus theta 002. So, it is like butterfly, you can see, it is not same butterfly as Lorentz equation, but this is more realistic, not fully realistic, because in real life there are not only 7 modes, there are more modes, but 7 modes is reasonably accurate. I mean, we have done a simulation, he is doing simulation till we see the same pattern in simulation, but slightly different R, small r. Okay. So, this chaos is also seen, but a different R. So, structure will differ, but qualitatively we will see same behavior. So, this was 7-mode model. Now, this is a paper written by one in our lab. This is was a postdoc long back. So, we again make a model which has more modes, but we do also do simulations, and generally accepted picture for large. Okay, Prandtl number I defined or not defined? I did not define. So, Prandtl number is nu by kappa. This is called Prandtl number. Okay. So, Prandtl number 1 and beyond, system has one behavior. A Prandtl number 1, well, basically small. So, 10 power minus 2, 10 power minus 3, they have different behavior, because in one of them viscosity becomes too small, other one kappa becomes too small. Okay, so these are two different systems. Anyway, for PR10 and so on, this is a good picture. So this is how, this is called bifurcation diagram. Okay. So this small r, so it is bifurcating into this pitchfork. Fp means pitchfork. Well, here Fp means fixed point. Okay, and this is why a pitchfork bifurcation, supercritical. Okay, supercritical. So don't worry about name, but if you see this pattern, you can remember the name, you know, pitchfork. And this goes all the way up to here in simulations around 25. Actually, I think it's a model, it's not a simulation, it's a model. I don't remember, some 20 odd model, and half. So these oscillations, so this is called oscillations, OS. So the oscillation which I showed you, oscillating asymmetric square, you know. So this is what we get in experiments, in some experiments, you know, I mean, will report this oscillation. Then system becomes quasi periodic. Now what is quasi periodic? Now quasi periodic is people know about quasi periodic, or do I need to? Well, let me make a small remark. So in a cycle tube, so if you have two frequencies which are related by the irrational number, omega 1 by omega 2 is irrational, then system shows some interesting behavior. So just imagine that you have a cycle tube. Now so here one motion is going around like this, one frequency. So take a, so it has two angles, cycle tube has two angles, no? One angle is going around like that, other one is going like that. Now these two angles are function of time, in fact linear. So theta 1 is omega 1 t, theta 2 is omega 2 t. Okay. So you can locate a point given theta 1 and theta 2, yes or no? So it is a tube, so radius are fixed, r1 r2, so only theta 1 theta 2. So there is, every point has unique angle. Now this point will move as function of time. So what is the, if omega 2 is 0, what will be the value, like let us say theta 1 is this one and theta 2 is that angle. So if omega 2 is 0, then what is the behavior? You just go in a circle. If omega 2 is non-zero but omega 1 is 0, then it goes like that. If both are non-zero, but let us say omega 1 and omega 2 are equal, then it will go around but it will come back, helical thing. But if they are irrational, let us say root 2, then what happens? It can never come back. So it will just fill up the whole tube. We wait for long enough, well, it just keep a fill up the whole tube, and this is called quasi periodic. It is not periodic, but you see this looks like periodic, but if I just put two frequencies and then it is quasi periodic. No, Lorentz butterfly is chaotic, and so chaos can happen in many ways. So this is quasi periodic. So you can see this green thing is filled up the whole region, but of course the filling up will happen in the phase space, but you can get some idea from this filling up. There is no space left in between here. Okay. But this is chaos, the pink is chaos. Now chaos, if I see for, I mean their edges are not, edges there are unfilled region. So to get chaos for this system, the third frequency is born. So you might have heard this word called 3 frequency implies chaos, or period 3 implies chaos. Have you guys read any book? I mean, who has done course of nonlinear dynamics? I mean, anyone of you? Okay. So you heard this word, period 3 implies chaos. No, this third frequency is born here, and that makes the system chaotic. So this is another frequency is born here. Okay. So this analysis is done in the paper, and that leads to chaos. Anyway, if you do a course on chaos, you will see this. And so we are not doing chaos. We are doing turbulence, which is more complex than chaos, but this is shows chaos. If I go further down, then I see turbulence. Now, one question people ask is, what is the difference between chaos and turbulence? Okay. Now, there is no one answer, I mean, you can only give several answers. So, I will give only some answers. So, the number of modes in chaotic systems will be large, but generally small. Large means maybe 10, 20, 15, well 3 is enough. So, this was proven by York. So, we need more than 2. More than 2 your system can become chaotic. Every system with theta is not chaotic. I mean, I can just say theta 1, theta 2, theta 3, this is not chaotic, it can be quasi-periodic or periodic. But if there is sufficient nonlinearity and you satisfy the properties for chaos, then the system becomes chaotic. Okay. But system is 15, 16, 20, you can, those modes will show this thing which is not periodic. Well, the chaos, one definition which is common for everyone is called sensitivity to initial condition. Okay. So, that what it means is, if I take in phase space, take 2 points which are close by, which are separated by distance epsilon, initial condition, and if you wait for some time, then they will start diverging, and this gap will go as exponential e to the power lambda t. But they simply do not diverge and go to infinity, they come back. So, the region of phase space where they move around is finite region. If it is diverging and going to infinity, then that is not interesting. For example, x dot equal to alpha x, that also diverges, no, alpha positive, but that is not, that is just a diverging system, no chaos. But if system has sufficient nonlinearity that it does not go to infinity, it is like we have put nonlinearity for saturation and so on, and it comes back, but the distance is on the average expanding for small times as exponential divergence. So, these are local. So, this is for short time, then again I can bring them closer, 2 points, then again they diverge. So, these are diverging all the time, you bring them, they never, they are diverging all the time. And so, this is what we find in chaotic systems. In turbulent systems, the number of degrees of freedom was huge. So, typically you can have 1,000,000, and this divergence, now we have 1,000,000 degrees of freedom means I am not going to draw phase space. People do not even think of the phase space picture, but you can take 2 particles in turbulent systems and see their divergence. I mean 2 smoke particles in a turbulent system and see how they move, and their typical the delta r goes as delta t times 3/2. So, can you see the difference between this and this one? One of them is exponential, other one is a power law. It is a power law, no? X to the power n, other one is e to the power x. Okay, which is faster? Okay, anyway, so that you think about. So, this is called Richardson law. Okay. Now, so these are some differences, but turbulence is typically more degrees of freedom, power law divergence. Power laws are typically there in turbulence. So, energy spectrum, which I will cover later, is a power law in turbulence, but I believe is exponential in chaos. It is not very well reported, but it should exponential in chaos. So, what I mean is, if I go to larger k, wave numbers, if I plot, now we have u of k, velocity, no? So, velocity of k, Fourier mode we have u11, u22. So, if I increase my k, then how does the energy grow? Energy typically will decrease when you go to higher wave numbers, and mod square of this one, it will be exponential. Both will decay, but is exponential in chaotic system, but power law k to the power minus alpha in turbulent system. Okay, so we know from Kolmogorov theory that alpha is 5/3, which I will do it in maybe next week or so. Okay. So these are some differences. So, but first you will typically get chaos, then turbulence. Okay, you are generating more and more modes, and you are tending towards more and more disorder, stronger interactions. Okay, so these for Prandtl number large. Now we can look at Prandtl number small. So I will show you what happens for 0 Prandtl number. Okay, so this was one run again we did in our lab. It was even longer, 10 years back, and so it's quite interesting. So 0 Prandtl number. Now, so convection is not we will do in this course, maybe one lecture towards the end or 1 or 2 lectures. Yeah. So this is a Fourier mode U101. So it's a Z component. So this that time we were studying Z component, but it's like same 101 of 7 mode model. Okay. So y axis is maximum value of the mode. If time dependent, then I'll have to how do I draw in this picture? So one thing is to kind of see the min and max. So we kept for this extremum positive value mod of that. Okay. It could also be negative, so we just kept the positive mode. Okay. Now, so in my Prandtl number small, Prandtl number large, PS6 and so on, I was going from the left. I was going like that, and then it became fixed point, then periodic, then quasi-periodic. But from Prandtl number 0, it was wiser to go from the right. From large Prandtl number decrease, a large Rayleigh number, but not too large. So it is near the onset. So this is 1.4 times 657. So this is near the onset. This is not too far away from the onset, but Prandtl number 0 is extremely chaotic. Viscosity is basically very small. It's not 0, but very small. And very small viscosity, you can imagine, the fluid turbulence, fluid system you have studied. 0 viscosity when system is give any energy, it has just becomes very violent. So it was a good idea to start. So the system is chaotic at the onset itself. This is known that system is at the onset, system is chaotic. So it started from the right. So this is called SQ square. So first picture we saw from 1.3, 1.35 is square. Now you can see the square pattern. So here both the rolls, this roll and that roll, both are equal amplitude, asymmetric square and unequal amplitude, right? Now so I hope you see the difference. This is asymmetric square. In fact, I exactly copied from the previous one. Is asymmetric square, but this is symmetric square. There is a difference. This is a bit stretched. This is not the best picture, but yeah, it is bit not. I think so. This one is going up roll, and this is going down roll, and they are forming a square pattern. 4 hot and cold is in between, and 4 cold and hot is in between. Okay. And this can happen when U101 equal to U011. Okay, so we need this, otherwise this won't happen. Okay, it is not drawn here. You are drawing only one axis, one mode. Fine. Now this bifurcates here into ASQ, asymmetric square. Now, but this asymmetric square is not function of time. It doesn't change with time. It is fixed in time. Now asymmetric square can come time dependent as well as time independent. Here is time independent. You will get pattern like this, but my U101 is bigger than U011 or smaller. They are not equal anymore, and you get asymmetric. Okay, all solutions are possible. Well, actually, if you look at the fixed point, so this is U101 and U011, and it was symmetric here. This one is symmetric, but this became asymmetric by bifurcating like that. So, this angle should be equal by symmetry, just from symmetry arguments. Okay. So, either here u101 is bigger and here u011 is bigger. Fair enough. Now, this goes all the way up to here, this line. So, I am going closer and closer to the onset, it is going other way around. Then you start getting this red. Okay. Now, so these arrows, you can see this arrow. Okay. Now, this pattern starts to oscillate in time. Here it was not oscillating, but there now it starts oscillating, and it oscillates exactly like what we saw in the previous movie. Okay, you will see that is, in fact I have copied the same movie, is the same movie, is blinking, no. So, it is oscillating. Now, what happens to this phase space picture when it starts oscillating in time? So, this will become, instead of a point, it will oscillate. In fact, it is here, this is the phase space picture. So, these were the two earlier points, asymmetric square. Point is not changing in time, right? I mean, point is will remain there, but here it is changing. So, the mean max value is this one, mean value is this much for 0 1 1, but 1 0 1 will be oscillating from here to there. So, this oscillating, it is never, well, it is oscillates around this mean value, it does not oscillate around 0, please keep in mind. So, this is a bit different than what we were doing before, it oscillates around this mean value, but which one is bigger for the red one? 0 1 1 is bigger. Okay. So, 0 1 1 bigger means, so this is not the picture, this movie is not the one, this movie corresponds to the blue one. Blue one has 1 0 1 bigger. So, the x0 role is bigger, but y0 role is weaker. Okay. So, this is, we can draw these conclusions from this picture. This one is unstable. So, the red one has become unstable, the fixed point exists, but is unstable. Now, so this red is there up to here, then what happens after that? It becomes green. In fact, so behavior changes further. So, these are further bifurcation, these are called bifurcations, changing. Now, it turns out that red and blue, so these are called limit cycles. Okay. So, this is the language of nonlinear dynamics, limit cycle. Of course, it is a projection, my system is much bigger, but if we take a cut in this, then I see this. So, the phase space structure is bigger, it is not only a circle, it is living in 13 dimension, this is 13 dimension model. Okay. So, we are seeing a projection. Okay. Now, this one is called SQOR, square oscillating square. Okay. So, these two limit cycles touch each other, in fact they touch here, touch that black dot. So, we are hitting that fixed point, and there is a lot of interesting things happen there. This is called homoclinic tangle. Okay. So, these are all nonlinear dynamics. So, if you do the course, we will see this stuff. So, these where you can see these two limit cycles are merged into become a one limit cycle. Now, how does it go? It comes down, it does not go up, it comes and it goes in that path, comes like that and goes here. So, it has become one limit cycle, you saw that here, here like that. So, here it will be which one role is more dominant, here other role is more dominant. In between, this is symmetric. So, square pattern will get in between. So, one role symmetric, then other role, and then it goes back and forth. Okay. So, this is called SQOR, relaxation oscillation square pattern. So, let us see this movie. So, this is square pattern. Okay. Now, this role will become x, along x direction will become dominant. Now, this like very much other guy has become 0. Huh? So, we are hitting that axis. Now, square again. So, roll in that direction. So, it goes here. Yeah, it's a periodic boundary condition. In fact, they just set of rules. It is just infinite. So, x axis, y axis are infinite. You can just think of infinite. Okay. So, we get SQR, and if I go further down, then we get chaos. So, here there is a chaos which has some different types of behavior, but this is why this fixed point, which the line, the dashed line becomes important. It is hitting here, and that in fact is leading to chaos called homoclinic tangle. Okay. So, this is a you hit an unstable point, then you become chaotic. That is what is a picture here. Okay. So, I showed you the picture for large Prandtl number how system becomes chaotic, and small Prandtl number how system becomes chaotic. But this is small r is 1. My turbulence is somewhere here in this region. Okay. So, I do not call this turbulence. There are more modes, but it is still called chaotic. Okay. Now, we will summarize this in the next slide. Route to turbulence. Now, this is a picture which was drawn, I think, by Ruby Krishnamurthy. Yeah, so R. Krishnamurthy. So, you can look at fixed point, sorry, for Prandtl number large, let us say Prandtl number 10. If I increase my Rayleigh number, so I have conduction state till Rayleigh critical, no convection, then convection, so steady roll. So, this is fixed point. Steady means no time dependence, but then oscillating roll. What is oscillating roll? That asymmetric square, like oscillation, no? So, we get oscillations. Then two frequencies. So, instead of one frequency, I had two frequencies, which led to quasi periodicity. It need not be quasi periodic, but if they are irrationally related, then it is quasi periodic. So, two frequencies, then chaos, after that turbulence. So, picture is like it just goes more and more complex, more modes. So, chaos, then turbulence. So, this is turbulence region. So, high Rayleigh number and turbulence. If I have a small Prandtl number, what happens? This region shrink. So, we can get turbulence for, so let us say 10 power minus 2. I can get turbulence at a smaller Rayleigh number relatively. So, these regions basically are shrinking. You see, I mean, here I have to go to larger Rayleigh number. Is larger Prandtl number is more viscous, no? Viscosity is more. So, you need more power, there is too much friction. But here you do not need too much power, it is already less frictious, less frictional, less viscous. So, we get conduction, then steady 2D, then oscillations and chaos, and then turbulence. Okay. So, low Prandtl number systems are more turbulent typically for given Rayleigh. Okay, so that is about it. Thank you.